Hello everyone, I just want to do another update on the passion fruit here. There's a couple things that I want to talk about. The first is the different sizes of passion fruit. As you can see right there, there's um, two fruit that are different sizes. You would not be able to guess, but the one on the right is actually like 2 months older than the one on the left. The reason why this one is smaller, there's a couple reasons. One is due to lack of water. If you let it go and it gets the plant dries out for too long, it'll stunt the growth when the fruit is in its early stages in the first like week or two. Another could be the change in environment. Like when I brought the plant in, I had some small fruit on there and they kind of just stayed small. It takes the plant a little while to adjust. So I've got different size fruit on here. You can see this one is pretty tiny. It's about size of your small tomato, or I don't know what would be a good comparison, but it's about an inch in diameter versus this one, which has only been on here for 2 or 3 weeks, I would say. So the second thing I want to talk about, you see this one's kind of wrinkly and it's got like golf ball texture. That's because this plant, I mean, even though the leaves look okay, it's a little dry. It needs more water. I remember the first time I saw this happen, I thought that the plant was getting root rot, and it was just trying to get rid of its fruit. And I had taken all of the fruit off, which is a big mistake. It just needed water. This plant is pretty good when it comes to root disease. It doesn't get that much, especially in a small pot like that. It actually needs quite a bit of water. I usually water this thing, or I try to, almost a gallon a day. So that's about how much water. I'll give it as much water as the soil in the pot can hold. But yeah, those are the couple of reasons why you'd have different sized fruit. You can see try to put these next to each other. Get this leaf out of the way. But that is the size difference, even though this one on the right is maybe a couple months older. I don't think it's going to get any bigger. Once the skin gets kind of freckly, sorry for lack of a better word, but it doesn't even focus. You can see the different colors. It's kind of like a darker green with lighter green specks. When it gets to that stage, it doesn't grow anymore, and it concentrates on ripening the inside flesh. So if you were to open up a young one, you'll get kind of a white, more dense flesh around the seeds. And then as that gets older, it turns more gooey and yellow, and that's when it gets ripe. As you can see, this is more of a new one. And you can see it's not as freckled. And then you've got one here that's also kind of small, but it's got the lighter freckles on there. And then you've got one here that is also pretty old, and you can see the lighter freckles, and it's also a little wrinkly. Kind of tell in the light. Also, the way that you can tell if your pollination has worked is if you come to the flower after it closes up, for example this one, and you just kind of give it a light squeeze and see if the ovary has swollen. So if I open this up, this one has probably failed, so I can sacrifice this flower to show you guys. You can see the yellow, like tiny football inside there. That's the ovary if you pollinate correctly. In a couple days, 2 to 3 days, I guess I haven't kept track of that, but in under a week you should see a difference in that. I feel like it's, yeah, a few days you can feel a difference. So this one up here, it's the same, it's closed up, but if you feel it, I can feel kind of a larger solid in here, and if you peel this back, you can see that there is a larger football inside. Sorry, trying to get this to focus here. But another thing you can tell is that it's starting to turn a greenish color instead of the yellow like the other one was. This one's gotten a little bit bigger, so this is going to become a fruit. This flower is going to continue to turn yellow and probably fall off. And so that's how you can tell if you've got fruit. Like this one is probably a failure. There's no fruit in here and it's about to fall off. But yeah, that's the two things I wanted to talk to you guys about is, you know, the different sizes in fruit. You'll probably still get, you know, decent flavor from this one, but there's not going to be as much. That one's going to turn out fine. I just watered it, so hopefully by later tonight it should plump back up. But yeah, those are the two things I wanted to talk about today. And that's my quick update.